Seems like it's warm. I don't normally feel that way, but
Residents, I'd like to call to order our regular board meeting for Monday, April 14, 2014. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance Mr. Witt, will you please take the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Brado,
here.
Mr. Capral,
Here.
Mr. Swikowski,
Here.
Mr. Tominello,
Here.
Mr. York,
Here.
Mr. Witt, here, Mr. Verkast.
Here. Thank you. Next on our agenda is the approval of the consent agenda, including the approval of the regular board meeting minutes of March 24, 2014, and the approval of the bills in the amount of $1,181,253.49.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the bills in the amount of $1,181,253.49.
Support.
All right, we've got a motion by Mr. Tominello with support by Mr. Swikowski. Any discussion, board members? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, board. Next is the approval of the regular agenda. Board members, we had received correspondence from the applicant concerning the rezoning request. That's item C. The applicant has requested that that agenda item be tabled to a future meeting. So at this point, we'd be looking to approve the agenda without item C at this point. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Support? All right. We've got a motion by Mr. Capral with support by Mr. York to approve the agenda minus item C. Any discussion, board members? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Nay.
Okay. All right, motion carries. Next on the agenda is announcements. We've got a few announcements here. The Harrison Township Public Library will be hosting multiple events throughout April. Tales with Tales will be held Saturday, April 19, with time slots beginning at 11 a.m. Children will have the chance to read with a therapy dog. Pre-registration is required. Perennials and New Plants will be on Wednesday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. The presentation is free. Refreshments will be served. Local author W.L. Bush and the Harrison Township Public Library will be celebrating National Poetry Month on April 30th from 6 until 8 p.m. Light refreshments will be served. To register for any of these library events, please call 586-329-1261 or stop in the library and sign up. For any children that attend library events, they have to be accompanied by an adult. The Harrison Township Firefighters Local 1737 will be hosting their ever-popular annual Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 19th at the Lance Cruz High School football field at 4 p.m. And the event will occur rain or shine. The Let's Move Festival of Races will be held on April 26th. There is a half marathon run and walk, a half marathon relay, a 5K run and walk, a 1 mile river walk, and a last mile kids run. Information can be found at www.letsmovefestival.com. It's important for residents to note Saturday, April 26th is the event. There are partial street closures throughout Harrison Township. The half marathon runs from Mount Clemens eastbound on South River, south down Jefferson into the Metro Beach parking lot and back out, and then again south on Jefferson to Tucker Park. So there is a partial closure. There will be detours, but be mindful of some limited traffic delays on Saturday, April 26th in the early morning. The Harrison Township Environmental Committee is having their Boat Town Nautical Coast cleanup on May 17th and 18th. For more information or to pre-register, please call 469-4848. And of course, for any information on these or any other events, you can call the supervisor's office, 466-1445, or visit our website, harrison-township.org. Are there any other announcements? Hearing none, we'll go to our next item on the agenda. Item B1, the fire chief has brought forth some awards that he would like to give out this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, board members. It's a pleasure for me to be here this evening to present two different awards for the fire department. And I'd like to begin by asking Sergeant Kevin Kukla and firefighter Ron Zabrinsky to come forward here. And tonight, Sergeant Kukla and firefighter Zabrinsky are receiving a life-saving award, along with their other crew member who couldn't be here, is firefighter Larry Shack, who's also who's receiving an award for this run. And they were nominated for this award by their supervisor, Lieutenant Doug Pressel. And this award in February of this year, this crew responded on an EMS call, and on arrival, they found an acutely ill patient whose condition was rapidly deteriorating. And Sergeant Kukla, firefighter Zabrinsky, and firefighter Shackett sprung into action, and through their professionalism and dedication and hard work, they were able to prevent this patient from going into cardiac arrest and ultimately saved her life. And their supervisor spoke to me after this call and was extremely impressed by their actions at this scene, and felt them worthy of this award, and I couldn't agree more. And so it's my pleasure and honor to give this award for life-saving to Sergeant Kevin Kukla. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And to firefighter Ron Zabrinsky. Congratulations, well done. And just on a personal note, I can tell you that just working with both of these individuals day in and day out, they're both fantastic paramedics, and this is one call that stands out. But every day they come to work, they're doing great things on scene and helping our residents, and so we're very grateful for the work they do. And gentlemen, well done. Thank you. Just have a seat. We'll do pictures in just a minute. Have a seat, and I'll do the next award. I'd like to, at this time, the other award that I have tonight that I would is each year the Mount Clemens Elks Lodge hosts Law and Order Night, and they invite the local police departments and fire departments to bring forth a recipient of their agency's firefighter or police officer of the year award, and they're honored by the Mount Clemens Elks. And so for 2013, I would like to recognize our recipient of that award and call him up here, firefighter Kevin Dieger. And Kevin, as I'm sure board members you know, is actually our newest member on the Harrison Township Fire Department. He joined us back in 2012, and Kevin came to us after several years of experience with the Washington Township Fire Department, and he made what had to be a very difficult decision to come here. And I could say personally, I'm very glad he made that decision. I think that our department and our community is very fortunate that he made that decision and came to join us at Harrison Township. And from the moment that Kevin walked through the door, he brought with him a leadership, and it's leading by example. It's the work ethic and the dedication that he brings to work every single day that sets a standard for all of us to follow and to emulate. And he's done a fantastic job just in the short tenure that he's been with us. And the Harrison Township Fire Department has a long reputation for the individuals on this department going above and beyond and giving extra to the department and to the community. And from day one, Kevin has personified that, and it's it's a pleasure to work with him, and he does great things for the department, and I'm honored to award him the 2013 Harrison Township Firefighter of the Year Award. Kevin, congratulations. And Board, if I could ask if we could take a moment for
Chief
photographs.
Lopez, thank you very much. I think it might be appropriate to call a brief recess and take an opportunity to take some photographs.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's my wife Patty, my son Connor, and his two friends.
All right. I like that, boy. You should talk to Kings to do it.
Again, thank you, board members.
All right, thank you. And on behalf of the nearly 25,000 residents of Harrison Township, we thank you for being there day in and day out and protecting us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is item D1 from the Building Department. Board members, the property owner at 38946 Lakeshore has applied for a permit to construct a seawall, docks, boat hoists, and placement of erosion control on the bank of Lake St. Clair. Per our ordinance, this must be approved by the Board of Trustees after a review by the township engineer. Mr. Newmer has reviewed the project, and his recommendation is attached in our board packets. In addition, the applicant has secured all necessary permits from the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality and the Army Corps of Engineers. Therefore, I recommend approval of the proposed construction at 38946 Lakeshore.
I'll make a motion to approve the seawall docks, boat hoists, and placement of erosion control at 38946 Lakeshore as proposed, subject to adherence to all applicable construction codes.
All right, we've got a motion by Mr. York. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Brado. Discussion, board members? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, board. Next is item E1. This is Building Board of Appeals members. Board members, the appointments for the Building Board of Appeals members have expired. The Building Board of Appeals has the responsibility of hearing any appeals from residents and property owners in the township who wish to appeal a decision of the building department or building official. By law, Building Board of Appeals members must have experience or training in the building trades. All three applicants have current experience in municipal building, civil engineering, and commercial construction. Mr. Batkins is employed in the commercial construction field, and he has previously served on the Building Board of Appeal for multiple terms. Mr. Jacob has worked in both the municipal and civil engineering fields, and Mr. Vyzenko is currently the building official in another neighboring Macomb County community. Their applications are included in the board packets. I recommend the appointment of all three applicants for a 2-year term to expire April 14, 2016.
So moved.
Support.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Witt, with support by Mr. Swakowski to appoint Mr. Brian Batkins, Mr. Michael Vyzenko, and Mr. Roger Jacob to the Building Board of Appeals for 2-year terms to expire April 14, 2016. Is there any discussion, board members? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, board. Next on the agenda is item E2, reappointment to the Waste Service Hardship Board. Board members, in the board packet is the application for appointment from Mrs. Linda Airy for reappointment to the Waste Service Hardship Board. Mrs. Airy's term has expired. She has been a valuable member of the Waste Service Hardship Board and has expressed a willingness to continue to serve. I would recommend the reappointment of Mrs. Linda Airy to the Waste Service Hardship Board for a 2-year term to expire August 8, 2015.
Make a motion to appoint Miss Linda Airy to the Waste Service Hardship Board for a
Mr.
2-year.
Chairman,
But that's
that's
not a
one
2-year
year or
term.
2 year? Did you have?
Yeah, well, it is a 2-year term, but it had expired August
Oh,
8th.
okay.
So
All right.
it's a matter of semantics. It's gonna be about 1.5 years, but,
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I
No,
jumped
no,
the gun there.
I
didn't know-
just happened to see it.
Yeah, it is really a 2-year term, but they're really just renewing it after the fact.
Well, I'll make a motion to appoint Ms. Linda Airy to a 2-year term to expire August 8th, 2015.
All right.
Support.
All right, we've got a motion by Mr. York with support by Mr. Swakowski to reappoint Mrs. Linda Airy for a 2-year term to expire August 8th, 2015. Discussion, board members. Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is an item from the treasurer's office. Mr. York.
Pretty self-explanatory. I should have put the instead of due to the retirement of my. I should have put the just for the record.
Yeah, that's okay.
Of the senior account bookkeeper, Katie put in for retirement. Effective June 12th of 2014, we'd like to post and advertise the position internally per the union contract. And if, we'll see who applies. And one of the things that sometimes when you have in these situations is somebody comes from another department and then there's a vacancy in that department. What we'd like to see, I think, is management, and I guess maybe I'll speak for Ken or Adam. It'd be nice if whoever gets left, somebody moves, if they can just go ahead and post the next position, musical chairs, so that we don't have to keep bringing it, back to the board.
So what
You know
would
what
your
we've done
proposed
in the
motion?
past.
I think when we did it for the position in accounting, we said bring it back because the promotion ultimately has to get approved
Oh,
by the board.
absolutely. Oh,
So that's
absolutely.
why we didn't approve the additional posting that time.
Oh,
Just going off recollection, it's just, because we have to address it again, might as well. So that way the board knows where that position is.
right, but I guess, 2 months isn't very long. It's actually pretty quick. And, say somebody posts and then, we always have to bring it back to the board, obviously.
Sure.
But it would be nice if, say 7 days from now, you have an internal candidate and that's who you're gonna go with and that's gonna make a position in building, whatever. Then, post that position and then, bring it to the board. Positions post, but you can still bring it to the board and, inform people, then everybody's not losing, every 2 weeks.
Sure. I think the important one here is to fill this position as soon as possible.
It's a lot of
So-
history.
Sure.
A
So,
lot of-
so
lot of
we know we'll be
experience.
meeting in 2 weeks. So if in 2-week period, we have a recommendation, at that time, we can vote to approve a transfer if one is available and then post wherever that opening is. Does that
That's fine.
sound?
I just wanna make it easy on everybody is my goal.
I guess my concern would be I'd hate to post something else or agree to post something else before we even know if the board approves, a move. You know what I mean? In other words, if we post a position before it occurs, the most urgent thing would be to fill this position, I would think.
Oh, absolutely.
And if we do that, that we can't do that any sooner than 2 weeks if we have an internal applicant, right? So, all right.
All right.
Well, what do you got? What?
Well, obviously, the job vacancy is gonna be back in my office more than likely,
Oh, yeah,
right?
right.
Let's call it what it is here. I don't know, maybe there's another candidate I'm not thinking of, but, it's quite possible that the person that's sitting in the account bookkeeper position is going to apply for the senior account bookkeeper position, which is gonna,
Okay.
Mr. Supervisor,
Well, what would you
in that
propose would
Mr.
occur
Mr. Supervisor, at this time, based on the agenda item, I would make a motion to post internally and/or externally a position of senior account bookkeeper.
Okay,
support.
all right. Got a motion by Mr. Tominello with support by Mr. York. Is there any discussion? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Board. Just an update for anybody who may have come into the meeting late. The applicant for item C, which was the proposed rezoning, that applicant had requested that item be tabled, so we haven't skipped over it at this point. We've just tabled that to a future meeting, so. Next on our agenda is item G1 regarding our lawn contract. Board members, we have received a contract extension proposal from Ultimate Lawn Service to renew our lawn service for 1 additional year. The proposal does not include any rate increase. The contract extension proposal and the previous contract with Ultimate Lawn Service is attached in the board packet. Please note that the section in the contract which refers to noxious weeds is not in effect. Based on cost savings to the township, I would recommend that the board approve execution of the 1-year contract extension with Ultimate Lawn Service for lawn care only and no noxious weeds responsibilities expiring April 1st, 2015. I would also note that the contractor did, or the current contract does provide for an extension at a 6% increase, and the contractor offered to extend the contract at no increase, so I think that's worth noting.
I'd make a motion to approve the execution of the 1-year contract with Ultimate Lawn Service for lawn care only and no noxious weeds responsibilities expiring April 1st, 2015.
Support.
All right, we've got a motion by Mr. York with support by Mr. Capral to extend the contract with no increase for lawn care only with Ultimate Lawn Service. Discussion, board members.
We probably want to make sure, just because they're not doing the noxious weeds, that we have a list that the board approves for that part of it?
The portion of work?
No, yeah, isn't that what our policy is? We approve a list of contracts?
Oh, that, I think that's already,
Yeah.
Do we have to reapprove it every
thought
year, or
that
was it just
wasn't-
once?
I thought we,
I'm
I
just
thought it
asking.
was an
we-
approved list, and I don't
I don't
think we
know.
have to go back. and
Okay, I
do
just
it.
want to
Yeah.
make sure that we don't
Right.
get caught in a
We
position
can
with
delete
nobody.
it anytime or add it
Yep.
anytime, but.
Good.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yep, yep. There is a list, and I will verify prior to the next meeting if that needs to be, if it's an annual approval. At this point, I don't have any recommendations
Yeah,
beyond
no,
that.
I just, even though there's gonna be snow tonight,
Yep.
the grass is already growing, so.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
opinion is if the vendors are working well, I don't need to see it again.
Yeah,
yeah. But if it's,
For the
if
record.
the.
I just wanna make sure that the
Well, the-
proposal didn't say annually.
I
you
think
have
the
to come back.
policy did, because I do recall that there was a proposed agenda item, and that does need to come forward. I'm pretty sure, but I'm sure. it's
I would
routine.
also add to that agenda item that the current list of noxious weeds vendors are approved.
Well, I just as soon bring it. I
I
mean,
mean,
we won't
we have-
have noxious weeds by April 28th, I
Okay.
can tell you that.
I was just
I can
trying to-
say, yeah, there's parts where the snow sat on my lawn that are kind of noxious, but I think that's a different problem,
Okay.
so.
I don't think we're gonna make any changes.
No,
That's
I
why
just assume, I would
put it
just
on there.
assume name the vendors and make it a part of the motion. We've got time. But that's a valid point, and I appreciate the support. So again, motion to approve the execution of a 1-year contract extension with Ultimate Lawn Service for lawn care only and no noxious weed responsibilities expiring April 1st, 2015. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Next on the agenda, item G2 regarding the Water and Sewer Department. Board members, at the last regular board meeting, we approved to post an interview for the position of Water and Sewer Foreman. We received 3 internal applicants and conducted interviews. Each applicant performed well in their interview. Afterward, the interview team deliberated and now proposes that Mr. Jeffrey Ryan be promoted to the position of Water and Sewer Foreman. In addition, I consulted with our labor attorney regarding any letter of understanding. Neither union can agree to such a promotion because this is a promotion from one bargaining unit into another. However, it was recommended that we have an agreement between the township and the employee regarding the possibility of returning to the employee's prior position in the AFSCME bargaining unit at the end of this year. Attached is a letter of understanding. It's in the board packet. Ultimately, we're asking the township and, if so promoted, Mr. Ryan to sign the agreement. And the agreement's very simple. It basically says that at this point, the township makes no promise of the position being in place beyond December 31st, 2014, but in the event that this position is eliminated or not filled, that Mr. Ryan can return to his prior position, no loss in seniority. Just basically putting in writing what we've indicated we said we would do all along. There's a proposed motion. I don't know if there's discussion or a motion this evening.
Mr. Chairman, move to promote Mr. Jeffrey Ryan to the position of Water and Sewer Foreman at the Level 1 rate of $58,500 plus benefits effective 4/17/14.
Support.
All right.
Should we include the execution of the agreement?
Uh,
Just because it's outside of a normal promotion, it might make sense for that to be in there.
In the motion?
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
If you would accept that amendment there to include
Sure.
the execution of that agreement.
Okay.
Based on the letter of understanding.
Yep, all right.
Continued support.
All right. We've got a motion by Mr. Switkowski with support by Mr. Tominello to promote Mr. Jeffrey Ryan to the position of water sewer foreman at the level 1 rate of $58,500 annual salary plus benefits effective April 17th, 2014, and based on the execution by both parties of the agreement between Mr. Jeffrey Ryan and the Charter Township of Harrison. Is there any discussion? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next is the public comments section of the meeting. The floor is open for anyone who's in the audience who would like to address the board for 5 minutes. If there are no public comments, we'll move it, close public comments.
Stampede.
Yeah, move back to board comments. Are there any board comments? I can give the board a very brief update on our waterfront redevelopment grant process. We had a very preliminary review of the first section of that. We'll be working toward a May 19th vision fair, is what the planner described, but ultimately an open house where we can solicit input from residents and stakeholders throughout the township, and I suppose outside the township for that matter, and ultimately, hopefully in the zone. The planner is preparing a flyer that describes the event. We hope to distribute that at Thursday's EDC event, as well as throughout the neighborhood and at meetings, and then throughout the township offices. So May 19th is a Monday at 6:30. That's going to be here. Each of you may want to consider placing that on your calendar. I think it's going to be worthwhile for all of us to attend if possible. Any other comments? Hearing none, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Support.
All right, we've got a motion by Mr. Capel with support.
Mr.
Dave.
Brado.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Brado.
Mr. Brado with support by Mr. York to adjourn at about 7:30. Discussion? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, Board.
I want to discuss not adjourning. I want to argue that, why
Yeah.
we should not be adjourning.